because you're in a third world country. And being in a third world country is very funny because you're in a third world country, but you don't know. Being a third world country doesn't mean your country's economy and GDP are not upstanding. It means that you're experiencing third world conditions. Third world conditions are not really. They're not really beneficial for people who want to create industry. I have a friend I was talking to some time back. He studied at Makerere in the 2010s, and he was telling me about the power of industry, the power of a generation whereby these campus students were able to come up with things like mobile money, like Kira EV, like that sort of stuff, that ingenuity and innovation that drove a generation, that drove that generation of students. And some of these things, this environment doesn't nurture that kind of thing because you're not exposed to extremities. You do not know how far you think. Most people want to earn. Most people, if they earn 2 million, they are comfortable.
Hi, everyone that is watching at the moment. My name is Marvin from Am Mavin 256 podcast and YouTube. So, welcome to another episode of Keeping Up with Marvin. And yes, today I'm joined by another common face that we all know. I think for the ones that have watched with us for some good time, he's called Mark Agaba. For us, we call him Coach. Coach. Yeah, but yes, if you're watching for your first time and you haven't subscribed, I just beg, go subscribe. It's very important. It helps us to grow and to catch up. So share, give us your feedback by commenting, and share with a few people. I believe today's conversation is going to help us a lot. It's not about sports this time around. We're talking about life in general, you get? So allow me welcome Coach, welcome Mark Agaba. We start our show today. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you for having me, Marvin.
Yes.
Happy to be here.
Thank you.
Talking about stuff other than sports because we're always talking about sports.
Yeah, it's been long. How have you been?
Have I been? I've been okay.
Doing well.
Yeah, you know how things are.
Outside
Things
there.
are hard. People are looking for money. Will it come? Will it not come?
Yeah.
But yeah, we find a way. Yeah.
Mark, I've hosted you many times, but I think people don't know you well, right?
Yeah, people don't know me.
My first question is, apart from the books and everything, who is Mark Agaba?
Mark Agaba is a student of life.
Okay.
There are people who, I think I was just born with this
Yeah.
with this inclination to look for information
Oh yeah.
and to search for things. So I'm always trying to explore new things. That's what I am at heart. Something that I'm not that I'm unapologetic about is I am a devout Christian, Anglican.
Yeah.
I am very, very interested and very, very intimate with the Word of God, and that takes priority for me.
Yeah.
And also on top of that, I am a very trivial person. I'm a person who, if you talk to, I'll probably know something about something.
I know.
Yeah, but I don't know everything about everything. But as they say, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but is better than a master of one.
Yeah. So that's amazing. When we talk about literally knowing everything or having a clue on everything, that leads me to my next question. You are someone who has something, to say on any topic or any idea that is being shared. I want to know, how do you stay informed?
How do I stay informed? So just as ordinary people stay informed, there are these things we call news cycles. So everyone is always on top of the latest news cycle. It's the little things really that add up to information, like reading books, like you're walking on the street and you stare at a headline on the paper, and that's something I do every day religiously. I am addicted to routine. I love doing the same thing every day, like usually, people who know me at home, they know that I like groundnuts because
Yeah.
groundnuts are a very good source of protein. So I have this lady I pick groundnuts from, and she
Every
has
day.
almost every day,
Mm.
and she has this news stand where she has Bouquet Day, she has New Vision, she has Daily Monitor. So at least I get my pulse on what is happening there. Then I'm also an avid user of online information. I am a chronic YouTuber. It is a problem. People do not believe social media is a problem. It is a problem.
A problem in a good way or bad way to your side?
In both a good way and a bad way. Because if
Yeah.
you use it productively, you can learn a lot. People have built careers, people have built billion-dollar businesses just from having information from the internet.
Yeah.
But if used badly, to be honest, it is like using any of these drugs people use on the street, myronji, heroin, what. You know what the definition of a drug is? A substance which once ingested into the body causes a physiological response.
Yeah.
And that physiological response in your body churning around. It's what most people receive from like using social media and stuff. So I try to regulate that. But also I'll make sure that we live in a world today where information is just one click of a button away.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is not difficult to access information like it was 20, 30 years ago.
But
Yesterday,
do you know
eh,
some people,
uh,
for them it's hard for them to get information? Should we say that they don't know how to use their social media? They don't know how to use their digital phones? Because you find someone, something happened like yesterday. Let's
yeah,
talk about the shooting that happened in the US. And I'm pretty sure
yes.
that many people don't even know about it.
Many people don't even know about it because many people don't even follow the story. Now, that sometimes you see now if you if you spend a lot of time looking at multiple news sources and
Yeah.
indulging yourself in so many different things, you begin to see patterns,
Yeah.
you begin to see patterns of correlation. Things begin to connect. Dots begin to connect.
Yeah.
If you're listening to political commentary, social commentary, trivial comment. By trivial commentary, I mean like our gossip about celebs and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
At some point, there is bound to be an inflection point. For example, I did not know a lot about Charlie Kirk, but there's a YouTube channel called Jubilee, and they have this ongoing series that I think is going to catch on because a lot of content creators are
Picking it up.
picking it up.
Yeah.
It's a 20 versus 1 debate format, and Charlie Kirk's debate specifically was well rounded. It was most of his debates are well rounded. Not that I agree with him. We don't have the same views, but I respect somebody who has a very good debate. I respect freedom of speech.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and that's how I landed on his name. Then seeing him in a shooting, it was kind of irregular for me because like, what does this guy have that a shooter would want? But none of these things won't happen if you keep yourself in the same cycle. If every day you're watching funny cat videos, you're watching videos of fat people falling down, that is probably going to be the news cycle that you're going to ingest.
always receive. Okay.
Yes.
So that's amazing, coach. So I want to ask you about. I know you're waiting for your graduation in December, right?
Yes.
By the way, those who don't know, tell them that you're graduating as.
A civil engineer.
Yeah. So this is an
Civil
engineer.
engineer. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Pretty much. Yeah.
that's amazing. So
Yeah.
you've been out for some good months. I think from the start of the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
From the start of the year.
Up to now, how is life? Because now you're no longer in class. You're out. How is life? I should have called it after campus, but you haven't graduated. But how is life so far?
We had a lecturer who said something very interesting. He said,
Yeah.
if you're not willing to get down to the foundational elements of what we call engineering, if you're not willing to get down to the foundational elements of your profession, you're not going to succeed in life. What does that mean? Being able to do that 9 to 5 job that doesn't pay a lot.
Yeah.
That doesn't even pay because in this industry, let people not lie you. The last time I heard of minimum wage was when I was learning about employment law. Since then, I have never heard anyone talk about minimum wage or anyone has to be paid this or paid that. Those things are a myth
Yeah,
in
true
this
by
in
the
this
way.
in sub-Saharan Africa. But what is important from it is building skills, because skills are what get you there. It's not about what you have achieved,
Like
what
what
you
you've
have
learned.
learned. It's
Yeah.
about what you can do. If I am looking for a tailor who works on vitenji,
Yeah.
specifically, let's say like a type of vitenji, like this tailor is good with shaders, I will go to that specific tailor and look for him just because he can do that. And that's what I've been trying to do this past year, making myself proficient at things that I want to be doing for the rest of my life.
Okay, that's amazing. You know, that was just an intro. I want
Yeah, I
us to
know.
talk about about life.
Uh-huh.
A biggest question is
Yeah.
because me, I've also been. I finished.
Yeah.
Same to you. Do you think school, campus environment, like it really prepares us enough for real life, and why or why not?
Real life is harder than most people think it is. Real hard is a struggle. Real life is a struggle.
Yeah.
Each and every day, it is a struggle, and it is something that people do not understand. That is a struggle. Every single day of your life, you are going to be faced with challenges.
Yeah, lots.
You are going to see people succeeding in the weirdest of ways. I was telling you the other day about Mzee Kawatu. That man has probably gone to places I'll never see in my life.
I know.
But what is he doing that is generating revenue for taxpayers, that is really that important to the economy, other than shaking his waist? If shaking your waist can get you to success, then success is not something that has a rational, clear, logical formula by which it can be defined. And that's what most people want from life. Most people want to succeed in life. Yeah, but one thing I can say is it as the Muslims say, Alhamdulillah, all of it
We'll do it
all of it goes to what?
to God.
To God. Yeah, it is with Him. It is Him who knows what's going to happen.
May I have to say this about school preparing us for real life. Me, I would say it does it okay. What school does just to give us knowledge, but I think we mistakenly take it to be that it's preparing us for life, because there are many things that are not being taught. You know,
Yeah.
the things they will not teach you that rejection can even lead you to committing suicide. They will never tell you that
Rejection.
Yeah.
They never teach you about relationships. In fact, they
They'll never
shun relationships.
they will never
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
they can even beat you if you're in a relationship.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
where you're heading, it's a must. They will never tell you that if you over compare yourself, if you have a negative mindset, it can affect you and this way. For them is okay, Agaba, you want to be an engineer, this and this is what you're supposed to be done.
Okay.
So may I believe school just gives us knowledge, but doesn't prepare us enough for the real world. Because when I was still studying here at campus, I thought when I finish, I'll go get an apartment, get that job that will give me enough, around 1.2. I'm like, me, I cannot settle for a job of 500.
And 1.2 is enough for you. Back
No,
then it was
like,
enough.
it was enough. But getting
Okay.
out, oh
Yeah.
my God. I worked for some good months without being paid. Like, and it was okay. But no one ever told me that when they're teaching that jobs are there. Jobs are there. You get. So me, I believe school doesn't prepare us enough for real life. I don't know if it's true to you.
If you imagine you're a farmer,
Yeah.
and you have crops, and you are growing matoke, you're growing different versions of matoke, you're growing your traditional matoke variant, you're growing narrow band, these big ones.
The big ones.
You are nurturing these different matoke fruits to grow as big as they can, so that you can generate the most revenue, as much revenue as you can out of them. But you go for the big, most farmers these days go for like narrow band because they are bigger variants, and they'll get more money. They'll get from the traditional 25,000 that you start going to 35, 40,000, even 45,000 for some. And that jump is because they believe that is what is that variant is the best species by which, if we nurture this, we can get to where we want to be. It's the same with school. School is like your parents want to see you succeed. That's what your parents want.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what every parent wants to see. Every parent wants to see their child succeed. And just using probability, just not even thinking, statistically speaking, school is the least problematic way to get a successful child. And
Yeah,
that is
true.
why every parent puts their kid in school. That is why the government is paying for children to go and study primary school for free, because they want you to use this as a pedestal on which you can succeed and thrive.
Yeah.
That might not be the case, because the real world, as I have just said, and I will reiterate again, is a maze of traps. It is a cauldron of people with different levels of luck. There are people who are going to steal money and become rich. There are people who are going to do the right thing and stay poor for the rest of their lives.
Of course.
The one thing you need to know is life is not fair.
True.
And whether you think that you go to school and you succeed at that will be fair, life is not fair. Doesn't play by our rule.
But do you think
That's very sad. People are going to start thinking, this guy is very depressing.
No.
Yeah.
Do you think
Yeah.
people that because we have seen someone works hard for years and years,
Yeah.
months and months, but poverty has never left their compound. Someone just jumps out of the blue, like me or you. We just finished campus. Within 2 years, you have one, the other one has been working for months and years. Should we say some people are cursed, or some people are not blessed enough that they will ever be rich?
Do you know why I'm smiling? I'm smiling because when you talked about working hard, did you know this is actually true? Did you know the hardest workers actually actually do not earn the most money?
Yeah.
At every By the definition of the word industry, people say industry is just a collection of things around. Like if I say the cocoa growing industry, just a collection of things and people who run it like a wheel on a car, making sure that things spin from the time we grow this cocoa to the time it becomes Cadbury chocolate and you're enjoying it with your girlfriend. But you see that difference? The difference is those guys at Cadbury and the international exporters, they're getting a lot of money. Meanwhile, the cocoa farmers in West Africa are working very hard. They're working very hard, by the way. They're working harder than the other guys. But they are not getting. Hard work doesn't necessarily. Hard work, it is, by the way, this is actually common knowledge.
Yeah.
It is common knowledge that hard work does not necessarily equate to success. What equates to success is strategy, is good strategy. Yeah?
Yeah.
So building a strategy that says that I want to succeed. How do I succeed? The most successful people are the people actually who they might not even be the smartest. They're the people who are the most inquisitive. They're the people who look around and like, okay, how do I get into this industry? Because there are people who are smart, and then there are people who are inquisitive. That's very different.
When you talk about that, because I believe if we talk about smartness, professors should be the richest people in the world.
They should be the richest people in the world. And are they?
No. You look at someone who a chap of Form 2, they were school dropout, is the one inviting people. I don't know if it was true that the owner of KIU, this guy, I don't remember him. Yeah, that nigga didn't go to school that far. But he's employing.
It's very true, and he's employing a lot of people, including some of my family members. And he owns more land than probably the eye can see. If you go to Ishaka, he probably owns more land than the eye can. You can put your eyes and stretch them over the distance over the horizon, and he owns all that land.
So you look at the game.
You need to go to school for that. The game is rigged.
And you're like, my God. So it's not about hard work. It's not about being the wisest.
Yeah.
As I've said, it's about being a good strategist. Like you're good at laying your plan out and be like, okay, this is what is missing. I think same goes to the person who started KFC, you know?
Yeah. He wasn't the first guy to fry chicken.
I know.
But he had the best strategy.
And then now someone will be like, okay, to cook, why don't I just buy my KFC?
I know it. And then how when I start my KFC, what sometimes by the way we cannot even strategy sometimes falls on luck.
Yeah, but
There are
true.
every single year since the dawn of computers, people have started social networks.
Yeah,
But very few people have made money like Mark Zuckerberg because it is just sometimes even good strategy does not equate to good outcomes.
true.
Yeah.
That's
But
what,
they lay a foundation on which good outcomes can be manifested
yeah.
under the right conditions.
When you talk about that, I also understand that many people have laid strategies and they have failed. I remember we had was it Likey during COVID? It was a social media platform.
Eh,
People have made copycats of Facebook.
yes.
But I want to tell you the sounding platforms up to Facebook, Twitter, X,
Yes.
WhatsApp,
What's up?
they're still standing.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's life, as you've said. It's
But that's because they have gained competitive advantage.
oh yeah,
They've
better
gained
competition
competitive advantage.
pushes you somewhere.
Competition is everything. Communication is everything. Facebook started out as the word Facebook meant before it became what it became. It
Yeah.
meant if you've ever watched a social network or if you read some stuff about Mark Zuckerberg, it just meant a book of name, like a yearbook. How we have a yearbook here when people graduate.
Yeah.
That is what it meant. And this guy got names off a Facebook and created one Facebook people, but made it interactive. And then the golden formula that he got was the friend request thing, because everybody wants to be everyone's friend.
Yeah.
And he tapped into that emotion. Sometimes, by the way, you don't need to think so vividly to come up with a good idea. Entrepreneurship is just looking for a problem people have and solving that problem. It is basically research, but you're earning money.
Yeah.
That is what entrepreneurship is. When you look at situations like look at Walmart, Walmart is the biggest chain, one of the biggest supermarket chains worldwide. The idea of Walmart, the business model was just taken from another company and improved upon. It just got someone's idea, ironed it out, then scaled it up,
And then boom.
and boom. That doesn't mean we're going to be successful. We're going to be here watching like, these guys have everything figured out. The fact is we don't. You know why? Because the game is rigged.
Yeah. That's true. Mark, I want to ask you,
Mm.
what's that one hard truth you think most of the youth aren't ready to hear? Us as young people. You know, our generation is a bit more affected.
Which youth? Youth in Uganda or youth in?
Let's prefer the one in Uganda. In Uganda, because our generation is way affected in a way that we only want to listen to sweet and good things.
Yeah, I know.
So
You always
what's
want to
that
listen
one?
to motivational speakers.
I know. Tell you
You
that
want,
pastor that will tell
yeah,
you
I know that pastor who will give you that
it will happen.
that it will happen, that this will be manifest. That one truth.
Yeah, that you think, okay, the youth aren't ready to.
Hey, this is where people are going to switch off this.
I know.
This is where people are going to switch off.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
the idea that you think that you're going to succeed is statistically wrong, because you're in a third world country, and being in a third world country is very funny, because you're in a third world country but you don't know. Being a third world country doesn't mean your country's economy and GDP are not upstanding. It means that you're experiencing third world conditions. Third world conditions are not really beneficial for people who want to create industry. I have a friend I was talking to some time back. He studied at Makerere in the 2010s, and he was telling me about the power of industry, the power of a generation whereby these campus students were able to come up with things like mobile money, like Kira EV, like that sort of stuff, that ingenuity and innovation that drove a generation, that drove that generation of students. And some of these things, this environment doesn't nurture that kind of thing, because you're not exposed to extremities. You do not know how far you think. Most people want to earn. Most people, if they earn 2 million, they are comfortable. But I'm a civil engineer. Let me tell you something about buildings. These buildings are these buildings around us. for them, stability is a good thing. But for you
Yeah.
as an individual, stability has never been a good thing. You know why? Because if you're stable, it means being stable means that you're not in a losing position, you're not in a advantageous position. You're not going up, you're not going down. But you're not going up. Which means at some point you will go down. So stability can only lead to one thing, decline. And sometimes you have to put yourself in a position to not be stable. You have to do things the right way. You have to understand.
Even if I'm stable, I should not assume that
Yeah.
I am.
Understand the cards you are dealt
Yeah.
and understand how to deal with those hands. A lot of youth want to go into politics and say, government etuyambe, government should help us. Government is not your problem. And government, even though it is for the people by the people, which democracy doesn't exist, but that's a story for another day. Okay, it exists, but it's not effective. It's
Oh,
not an
yeah,
effective
yeah.
strategy.
It favors a few.
It favors it's not that it favors a few, it's just by the nature of human beings, you cannot expect them to be in a democratic society.
Yeah.
So youth want to put all their problems and pin them on Museveni. Let me tell you guys something. Do you know what? Let me give you an interesting fact now. Do you know that this number is probably between 75 and 85%
Yeah.
of the population of Uganda that were born after Museveni's inauguration as president of Uganda? That means most of you, significant percentage, probably most of the people watching this video, were born after Museveni took power.
Yeah, true.
So what on earth are you going to tell Museveni about how to run his nation? Please tell me. Because if you can tell me what you're going to tell him, then please. And you're like, no, this is a country. It runs on a number of voices. You cannot run it as one person.
Yeah.
Those things are also there and they're also to be considered. And doesn't mean that I am a supporter of the regime, but what I'm trying to tell the youth is understand that you are dealt a bad hand. And people say that, no, your situation is not as bad as it seems. It is better than our ancestors 300 years ago. That is also true.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to walk from Lira to Kampala just to study. Now you can take a bus. But that doesn't mean we won't need a train in 10 years. But to get that train, you're going to need to work very, very hard. And you don't want to hear it. You want to just sit down and watch TikToks. And that's fine.
So Mark, as you conclude this, what is that hard truth that, as you have said, okay, well, me to sum it up, we need to work hard. We don't need to consider the government as our problem. Being in a third world country doesn't also favor us.
Yeah.
As young people. Okay, I would say young people because we're talking about the youth to develop and become successful.
Yeah. Doesn't really favor you. And sometimes, by the way, we live in a world where they say connections are everything. Every Ugandan is saying connections.
Yeah.
You're going to have to build those connections the hard way. But sometimes life isn't straight as an arrow. I remember when we first moved into our house, where my dad told me the story that when he left university, back then things were nice. You leave university and you have a profession. They give you a living quarters to stay in. You have furniture, you have equipment. You just have to go to work and take care of your family. Go to work and take care of your family. But after a specific period of time, which is very short, by the way, they would tell you to move out. Now, my dad was a doctor and he was told to move out. And then he came and he went into this area which was like a bush. But now try to get a plot in that bush. It's very expensive to get a plot in that bush. Anywhere around Ebbs, try to get a plot around Entebbe and see. It's very expensive. But he didn't even have furniture. I remember he told me a story of he went to a lady's shop.
Yeah.
And he said, please, this is my passport. Just I need a chair. I need somewhere for my wife and my children to sleep on. I will give you this passport and I will come back for it. And the lady gave him a what? He went, he worked, got the money, came back and did that. These days, young people are not trustworthy. They are really not trustworthy.
We are not.
Yeah, but they also don't understand how bad a hand they were dealt. Which is why right now it is very difficult for someone to come from like the village and become somebody, because they don't know, they don't understand how hard they will have to work. They cannot even fathom it. Some people everybody wants quick success. Everybody wants the quick idea. Everybody wants to know what is on, what is
Yeah.
trending. Tell me about Forex. Tell me about crypto. If you don't even know what blockchain is, what are you doing talking about crypto? Eh? If you do not know anything about markets, yeah, you've
Yeah.
never heard of people are there at Wall Street. They have analysts, people who have studied data science, trying to make trades, and they're also losing. Then you at home who has a computer that's not even worth the salary of one day of that data analyst. Eh? You're there and you're also pretending that you can make as much money as that guy. Let's stop lying ourselves. Let's put in the work. Let's put in the effort.
Let's work hard, man. Anyway, let's work smart. I will remove the hard.
Let's work strategically.
Strategic. Okay, let's work strategic.
Let's work strategically.
And that leads me to the next thing of our mindset. Youth and mindset. Why do you think many youth feel lost or stuck after school?
Because they're complacent. Do you know what the word complacency means?
Yeah.
You like sports.
Yeah.
Imagine a situation where a team is losing. Look at like Manchester United right now.
Yeah.
Your team is losing, but like the players don't want to play. They're used to everything. They're like, tugenda nebigenda. Everything is fine. As long as I get my salary, I'm okay. That is called becoming complacent. A lot
Yeah.
of youth today are very complacent. A lot of youth today don't want to say that, you know what, let me fight this. Let me fight the demon of poverty.
Yeah.
People want to go to church and hear someone that poverty will go away from you, money will come in your business today. But money might not be coming in your business because you're not thinking of strategies to bring money in your business. Sometimes it's all about even having the right conversation, knowing that I'm way in over my head. Because let me give you an example. If you go to Pioneer Mall, today you're going to find about 1,000 people there selling phones.
Oh my God!
But out of those 1,000 people, there are about 10 in the next 10 years who are going to become real big businessmen. Yeah.
Oh.
The intersecting region between those different people is probably going to be the strategy they use and how much time they put into their work and if they were complacent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So understanding that you do not know, yeah, they call that. I remember someone once told me that is called conscious incompetence. Understanding that you do not know, that you know that you do not know. That is conscious incompetence. That's the state you want to be in as a human being because that always leaves you open to discover and to learn new things. And this world is full of information. If your business is stuck, they know how to do it. If your thing is stuck, you know how to do it. All this stuff you can find online. Even just using YouTube, even just using TikTok, you can learn how to cook. People can learn how to cook off TikTok. What can't you do?
What you're saying is true. Do you know, as the young people, let's say when you study your course now, me as a counselor, as you said, is it
Complacency.
Complacency.
Yes.
You believe that you're supposed to only do that.
Yeah.
To be a counselor only. And I think what has been taught to us from day one, because in primary they could ask, what do you want to be? A pilot.
I want to be this.
What do you want? So you grow up in a
And by the way, those guys, they are part of the reason the game is rigged. I vehemently, I've never used that word before. Let me use it today. I vehemently hate the idea that people think that science subjects are the best subjects. Listen to me. If you're watching this and you are in O level, yeah, go and look for the 10 richest Ugandans and look for any of them who did civil engineering. Come back and we talk. Come back and we talk. Please go look for the 10 richest Ugandans and tell me what they did. And tell me if all of them did economics, business. Those are subjects that determine success. Do you want to be? Sometimes people also, do you know, sometimes I have this problem with people. You know what you want, but you can't even say it. So you can't even chase it. Yeah. So let me give you an example. You want to, just from basic things, you want to ask a girl out, but you don't want to say it. Yeah, you want to beat around the bush. My history teacher, by the way, used to say that don't treat don't treat that conversation like it's a like it's a history essay. You're not
Yeah.
writing the Portuguese conquest of East Africa. Let's see. This is what the Portuguese did when they reached East African coast. There's what you write the introduction, you write the body, you write the summary. No, you're asking the girl out. Ask her out. 5 sentences or less. And that's it. Then on top of that, look at things like what? It was on my mind now, I've forgotten it. There are things whereby there are things you just don't things like what do you want to be in the future? What do you want to be in future? Yeah. Like back then, we beat around the bush. I want to be a pilot. Why do you want to be a pilot? Because you think pilots are rich.
Yeah.
Why do you want to be an engineer? Because you think engineers are rich. What do you want to be? You want to be rich. Don't beat around the bush. Yeah.
Or by adding something like I want to be a pilot.
You know,
It's so you should.
people say capitalists are bad, but I love capitalists. In fact, I think deep down I'm a capitalist, and I know that that is the solution to our problems as Africa. Like we all know it. Like even there are those people who literally know the difference between capitalism and this conservative behavior we have here in Africa. This conservative traditional behavior we have here in Africa. There, do you know what we need? We need a generation of people who are not interested in attending wedding meetings and chivinas every weekend, but they're instead interested in working with their business. But that's not socially acceptable. Hey.
I think, but when we talk about that,
Mm.
we should just we should adopt the other sides, the European way of thinking. I think we are going to be better because now, when you talk about that, it leads me back to do we call it the black chain, whereby when Mark becomes rich, now the whole family is on Mark.
Mm-hmm.
You get Mark has to pay school fees for auntie's daughter. You find that even the little that you make ends up going where?
It's dispersed into other investments which might not pan out.
And then when you look the other side, I have a friend who was telling me that here, I don't remember the state very well, but I think they're in Germany. That
Yes.
here they don't even allow you to come and to be like 3 people in the house. You get, mom, this is my friend relative. What do you
Yeah.
mean? You get.
What do you mean? Like come and visit? It's fine.
It's fine, but
for like a day, but then leave.
But now here in Uganda, a person comes to your place is going to leave after 4 months, a year, 2 years.
That's
and then
compassion, though.
you get.
Compassion is now that's different because now that is just a morality issue.
I think society also is affecting us so much on us being rich, you know.
Okay, this is what I think about like the mindset. We have this work hard, play hard mindset that let me do my 9 to 5, and on the weekend I'm going to what to chill, attend a wedding, attend a graduation. Do you know what we need? We need work hard, play less. Work hard, sleep more, play less. That's what you need. Because sleep is probably the only thing that's going to get your brain in shape to work hard, to work strategically. Whenever I say work hard, treat it as if I'm saying work strategically. Because I'm going to tell you work hard and you're going to pretend like one of those guys downtown who's lifting big thingies of goods, breaking their back. Those people don't even have insurance. What happens when they break their back? No one is there to treat them. They become cripples. And that's how life is, man.
Life is like,
It's the hardest working people who suffer the most.
Going back to the other point you're talking about, I'm still telling you, pilot, you want to be a teacher, this and this.
Yeah.
This has put us into one corner to believe that even when I was starting my thing, they were like, for you a counselor, why are you starting podcast at YouTube?
I know, eh?
You get?
As if, by the way,
so the mindset is
by your qualifications, you're actually uniquely qualified
you get,
to handle this
the mindset
setup.
is, Agaba, you're an engineer.
Yeah.
Why should you be sitting on a podcast?
Man, do you know I run a book club?
Like, as someone, Agaba, you're an engineer.
And you're like, how do you, like, as an engineer, how do you run a book club?
You get,
well, it's hard, but hey, you make it work.
So that's the mindset that is. So as the youth, as
You
the
make
young
it work,
people,
man.
I'll continue encouraging people that please don't look at that one degree as if you're going to be rich from that one thing that you're setting yourself on. Look at Uncle Mo.
Do you know what a degree is? Let's not underestimate a degree.
Yeah, it's
there is
powerful.
a
I get.
the word degree meant that there was a very high degree of difficulty somewhere in the process for you to get it.
That's
Sometimes there are certain rooms when you walk into that room and you say, I have a degree, you immediately adopt a different stature.
Yeah.
You immediately adopt a different people. people immediately look at you differently because of their initial inclinations
Yeah.
and beliefs. They look at you differently because that guy has a degree, I have a degree. I worked hard for it. I know how hard he worked for it because his degree was probably harder than mine. So him talking to me is a privilege. There is something to learn from this conversation.
Yeah.
Even when you're drunk, they'll say that guy, there is something to learn from this conversation with this guy. And I've been there many times. I've seen professors blackout drunk, but they're spewing words of wisdom.
And people are listening.
And people are listening.
So there
And
you
those
not
are
have
words
a-
of wisdom.
There you don't have a degree. and
There
then
you not
get
have a
drunk.
degree and get drunk. What are you doing getting drunk without a degree?
I know.
Yeah, I don't even drink alcohol that much, but
Yeah.
why would you be getting drunk without a degree? Yeah, those are the people who drink Torero. Hey, anyway,
There is a new
let's
brand
not shots fired. There's a new brand.
called High Five.
Manange. Those things. Simanya chairman's
I
beer.
know,
Manange.
And,
Those are the
and
things.
I
Those
swear,
are the problems.
those things
Yeah.
have even made the youth to be spoiled. Like someone wakes up, what they want to do is vaping. They want an iPhone.
Now why are you vaping in Uganda?
Oh, haven't you seen them?
I've seen them vaping in Uganda,
know,
but
they-
here's the thing. There are people who are vaping. You're watching music videos with people vaping, and these guys are earning hundreds of millions of dollars.
So
In
they
your
can-
whole clan, we add it up together. None of you have earned that much money. Yeah? None of you have earned that much money. And these are not shots fired. These are just opportunities presented. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go in the studio, make a hit, get 1 billion views, then you start vaping.
Is that va- You're vaping on your parents' pocket money.
You're vaping on your my goodness. That's actually that's actually just sad.
But of course, it's the campus generation that is in
You
those
know,
things of
I'm not even
vaping.
going to be that guy who's going to say the right things because I can just tell you, why don't you save? Why don't you what? But you've probably heard those things a million times.
Of course.
And you're going to listen to some guy on YouTube talking to his friend. But hey, it's just appalling to see. Really.
Anyway, what 3 values should every young person live by? If
3 young values every young
3
person.
values a young person should live by.
Number 1, honesty.
Yeah.
It's important to be honest. Yeah. Tell the truth. The truth, by the way, hurts. If you tell the truth, it's going to hurt. It's going to be tough, but tell the truth still.
Yeah.
It's very important. The second value you should live by, humility. You should put yourself in a situation.
Yeah.
Never think you're there. You've never made it in life. You'll never have enough money to say that I have enough money now, I can chill. Even those people who have enough money and they can chill, there are people who are billionaires and they're not chilling. So what are you doing chilling? Be humble enough to know that I'm not where I want to be at all times. My dad has money, but you look at him and one day he'll tell you, I have something is missing. He'll say, I have no money. Like, you have to sort it out. You have to sort it out. And that's how life works.
Yeah.
Yeah? Being humble enough to know that even if you're making 7 figures, there are days where you just don't have money. And he might have like 100 million in his bank account, but he doesn't have any money. And that's a fact. It's not like, even Kasaija might be their Minister of Finance and he doesn't have any money.
Yeah,
So
I've even had him crying.
you've heard
like,
him crying. Yes, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
The third value,
Yeah.
honesty, humility, and honesty, humility. By the way, on top of that, on humility, treat everyone with respect.
Yeah. True.
There's a supermarket I go to. I won't mention the supermarket because you guys will know the person who I'm talking about. You probably know the person who I'm talking about because it's the same person.
Yeah.
But I go to this supermarket and every time I go there on Fridays, like a routine, I go there on Fridays in the afternoon and I go and I buy a chocolate cake for 3,000 and I buy like a soda to drink or like a bottle of water to drink with it. But even then I always have to go and put my bag at this place and keep it. And I always go and I greet that guy and I tell him, good afternoon, sir. How was your day? And I add that, how was your day? Because some people just come and throw their things there and then like, give me a key and what. And I see him sometimes and there's some day I found him there and some guy was shouting at him. I'm like, man, this guy is just doing his job. Yeah, why are you shouting at him?
Yeah.
Yeah. his job is not even probably the best. It's not a job I would desire to do.
Yeah.
But it's a job that has to be done. There are certain jobs that no one desires to do, but they have to be done. So treat people with respect. Yeah. You see a street cleaner and you're there, you're driving your car and you want to to hit a pothole when it's raining and then water splashes on them and they're just cleaning the road. Does that look right to you? That's just what makes a good person a good person. Yeah. Treating everyone equally. There are people I know, like, let me give you an example. Something that made me happy last week, even though it happened near Munyonyo, because Munyonyo is a posh area. There's a guy called Julius Muchunguzi. I think he's one of the guys he's one of the heads at EC, the Electoral Commission Uganda. He went into a kafunda and sat down and ate his lunch. And imagine someone who can afford to go to speak apartments, to Sheraton, and to eat lunch. Yeah, he can afford probably. On his allowances, he can afford, but he's in a kafunda. And he's talking to the lady and treating her with utmost respect. Like she's her mother, because everyone, and that is, by the way, the culture we grew up with. You know, the one thing I like about East Africans, everywhere you go in East Africa, like when I was learning Swahili, I learned that the word baba means, I learned that there's one word for every old woman. We call every old woman mother.
Yeah.
Even in most languages, by the way, in East Africa, we call old women mothers because we are showing them respect. Yeah. I have a neighbor who I called him Mwami. I called him Mwami once, and they told me tomuyita mwami oyo mulongo. Manyi lwaki? Mukama yamutonda neki n'obulongo. He had that thing from his birth. He was born with that right. Yeah. True. And we have to treat them with that respect. We are forgetting how to be respectful in this country, and that's very bad. And that's part of humility. The third thing I would say is honesty, humility. There is a word that I'm looking for. I'm going to get it now. Don't worry. I'm going to get it now. Diligence.
Okay.
Diligence. Diligence means if you're going to do something today, do it tomorrow. If you're going to record today, if you say I'm going to do a podcast, a weekly podcast, do it every week. Don't skip the week unless you're off season. Yeah. Do your podcast every week at a time. Develop a routine and do it. Yeah. Be diligent in your work and be the good kind of diligent. Don't be the bad kind of. Don't be the one at your work. He's always typing half a report. He's always using the wrong font. He doesn't even know paragraph spacing. That is you. At work, they always know that you're diligent, but in the wrong way. So they know that we always have to. He's going to do the work, but he's going to have to edit. We always have to edit. After he does, we have to edit. Then we send.
Yeah.
No, don't be that kind of diligent. Be the good kind of diligent. Be the guy people can rely on and say that if Mark says he's going to type 100 pages, you always type 100 pages a week. Every week you always type it. Okay. And that's good.
That's
always attend your meetings. If you've signed up for something, if you signed up for a club, if you've signed up for a class, if you've signed up for what?
Yeah.
Try your best to attend.
Yeah.
As much as possible. Don't give yourself excuses. I've been there. I've been a damn young person. Try your best to attend.
Okay, thank you so much, Mark. The fun bit of it, I have around 3 questions.
Okay.
We're just answering them in 60 seconds.
60 seconds,
Yeah.
okay.
If you are given the mic to speak to every youth in Uganda for 60 seconds, what would you say?
What would I say?
Yeah.
Vaku TikTok.
What?
Actually, stop listening to that stupid music. Some old man complained about that music. There's a certain kind of music, you know, Engoma. That one. Out with it. That's not good.
What's a mistake you made that turned you out to teach you the most?
Mistake that I made that turned out to teach me the most.
60 seconds.
That one is a tough one. I won't talk about it here.
Okay. Who inspires you and who should young people be paying attention to?
Who inspires me?
Yeah.
Who inspires me and who should young people be paying attention to?
Yeah.
Young people should be paying attention to to anyone who they consider a mentor.
Yeah.
Someone in your field who is higher than you and probably has a better expertise than you, and then you can that person can probably inspire you. For me, who inspires me?
I know you have a lot.
There are a lot of people who inspire me.
I
Picking
know.
just one is very, very difficult. It would depend.
Okay.
You want to say politician? There are politicians who inspire me. There are electoral people who inspire
Sports
me.
and
There are
everything.
sports people who inspire me. There are,
Anyway, I know coach
yeah.
it's a lot. Anyway, I want you to give your parting shots in 1 minute and then we call it a wrap. For the young people, for the person who has watched, yeah.
Parting shots. If you've not listened to anything I have said, just listen to one thing. The one thing I want you to take from this is information is out there. Yeah? You just have to go and grab it. And information equals money most times. That equation might not be as simple as that, because there are certain things in the middle that you have to work out. But that's the key line. Information equals money, and trust me, it does. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. For us to call him Coach Mark.
Coach.
Yeah, Coach
Yeah.
Mark.
Now I've become life coach, Mark.
That is a life Coach Mark. But thank you so much for turning up.
Uh,
Yeah, as I keep telling you, people come and go, but people come and then return again. Keep like that, like that. The cycle keeps on moving. But as you said, information. I remember when I was still learning, they told us, you want to be a great speaker, but what are you going to tell people when you don't have information? You know, information is the key to everything that we need. And because I want to tell
have you
you,
ever done a public speaking class?
you know,
You want to be a great speaker?
I want to tell you that me, I started my things of YouTube and everything. No one taught me.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
YouTube, it's reading things and understanding this is done like this and this and this. And yes, here we are. We are better and we're doing well. So I would say thank you so much for sticking around, for joining us in this conversation from the start to the end, all middle, or anywhere you've watched from, but we appreciate you. It might be a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, a good night, but thank you so much for sticking around. If you're watching for your first time, I repeat, subscribe to our channel so that we grow together. And it's very important. Share, because many people are dying because they lack information. So share the information with the right people and they will be blessed. Thank you so much for sticking around. I've been Marvin, it's been Mark, and we shall be back for more conversations. Bye-bye. We're out.